Scott Muni.
Can I get a little juice in my headphones, please, Fats?
They're not plugged in.
Oh. That was Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. The Game of Love.
Live here on NEWFM, where Crockle is.
Na. Scottso here with you. Picking up the ball from Pat St. John, who started a music marathon about, yesterday sometime. At least it felt like that. What happened? Had to go potty, Pat? What'd you eat? You had to be in there so long. Mexican food? You're not fooling anybody, you know. We know what you're doing in there. Play Hey Jude, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and Inagata-DeVita in the same set, then disappear in the crapper with a copy of Hustler for 45 minutes. Get a grip on something besides your joint, okay? Think about a haircut sometime in the near future, all right? The f***ing 60s are over. You're 48 years old. You look like Ian Anderson's sister. Speaking of haircuts, seen Arsenio Hall lately?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a new haircut, and not because they stitched him up too quick after brain surgery. Apparently somebody sent in a sketch, and he liked it. Of course, it's always a good idea to take grooming tips by mail. What I want to know is, who sent it in? Buckwheat? Well, if you expect me to continue the tedium, you're in luck, because joining me at the microphones today, due to the fact that I guess he has no life unless he's sitting in front of something electronic with knobs and buttons on it, is morning man Don Imus. And, Don, I don't think I need to tell you you're a giant in the business.
Thank you.
You've already convinced yourself of that fact, so no point in blowing any more smoke up your ass, is there?
No, I guess not.
Let's face it, the only reason you got into the Radio Hall of Fame is, alphabetically, they got to induct you before Dan Ingram. I mean, it's not like, Judge Hangin turned out to be a household name. But you revolutionized our industry. That McDonald's call, man, they're still talking about that one, huh? Well, you might have seen Dono on the Primetime Live show, and let me just say, thank God for that 7th game, huh? Because, you look real good on camera. Like a piece of beef jerky made from an albino cow.
But now, wait a minute.
Hey, why don't you go make us a cup of coffee, huh?
Well,
how do you think Red Fox is? Finally gets the big one. Really does go to join Elizabeth, but talk about timing. Not the brightest idea to check out in the middle of a 3-day weekend during the Thomas hearings, is it? The pea picker got more attention, and that was right after the cafeteria massacre. Boy, think the Texas Tourist Board's got their work cut out for them? I mean, they're not exactly coming off as the vacation land of the Southwest, are they?
no.
Lee Harvey Oswald, Charles Texas Tower Whitman, Kinky Friedman, George Hennard. Geez, what's the state flower? The lily? What's it say on the license plates? Duck? Well, I guess that's what happens when mamas let their babies grow up to be cowboys. You're going to have drive-through gun stores. You're going to have drive-through murders.
Oh, no, come on. There.
Hey, George, you didn't need to croak yourself. You already broke the record. Tell you, they're going to have to come up with a new slogan. Texas, I'm going in. Cover me. Coming up, the Beatles. Happiness is a warm gun.
Oh, isn't that great?
Why don't you use one on yourself?
Why did you guess my ass, you fat dummy?
Imus in the morning.
Endured some injury requiring the postponement of the November 8th fight with Evander Holyfield. Good morning, champ. Oh, don't do that. That's stupid.
Come on.
Ouch. Ouch. Oh, my ribs.
Yeah, fine.
Ow. My ribs hurting. Ouch. Ouch. See what happened?
What?
I was training, right? I was training.
Right.
Training.
Training,
Yeah. And I was sparring, and was sparring and sparring and sparring and was sparring some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then this woman comes by the ring.
Now, wait a minute.
And she's got a great big bunkie, and I turn to look, and pop! Cartilage from my serratus tore away from my lower ribs.
Uh-huh.
It's what the doctor calls serratus gluteus maximus. Ouch! Ouch! My ribs!
Fine.
Ow!
Let me ask you this, champ.
Uh-oh.
When you were training,
Yes?
they tell somebody's opened this yogurt.
I don't think so.
Oh, he caught us again.
Damn. Come over here. Laura, come in here.
Make that whole
This is
smell.
yeah.
We have a clear case of product tampering here.
Let me ask you this, champ.
It wasn't me who opened the yogurt, no.
Did anything funny happen to you while you were training?
How funny does it have to be? I pulled a rib. I'm in pain. I can't be funny. I'm in pain.
Look at this.
What do you want me to say? I hurt myself with a woman up by the ring, and my Mr. Dinky pulled away my ribs?
It's 18 after 7. Mike harassment.
Imus in the morning.
Andy?
You're probably wondering why I'm sitting here wearing women's underwear and a wig.
Yeah, they're right.
Well, it's to make the point that I think this whole sexual harassment brouhaha has been carried to a bit of an extreme.
Right.
See how I look?
Yeah.
Now, this is one of those cross-your-heart affairs that lift and separate. And why? To call men's attention to the bosom.
Well,
And if I can just stand up here, this is a foundation garment designed to attract the eye to the derriere. Can you get in tight on these? There you go. Not bad, eh? And this fire engine red garment around my waist is a garter belt attached to the black hose I'm wearing that are of the fishnet variety.
right.
Tell you what, let me just step from behind my desk here and do a little pirouette for you so that you can get the full effect. There's my point, that even a man who is 70-something can be pretty darn alluring when dressed in women's underwear. So, Andy, you're probably thinking, just what the heck are you driving at? Simply this. Women need to accept some responsibility for encouraging sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Watch for a moment as I perch on the corner of my desk here, cross my legs coquettishly, fluff my hair, and purse my lips at the camera. Is there any subtlety in that message?
No.
Excuse me, Clarence, but I don't think so. No, I'm clearly saying, hi, I'm Andy, fly me. Why do we have sexual harassment?
I don't know.
Two things come to my mind. Spandex and Bud Light. Sure, you're familiar with beer commercials. Those Swedish gumdrops that parachute into the guys' fishing camps to suggest that maybe it can get a hell of a lot better than this. Are you going to try to tell me that's not intended as a direct pitch to our lower instincts? Give me a boner, a break. Give me a break. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I don't get distracted. Sexual harassment can be laid. Let me select a better word. Sexual harassment can be attributed to a society that constantly glamorizes sex, 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 and the man-woman pursuit.
Right.
Here's what gets me. None of this is anything new. Women have been dolling themselves up for men, enhancing this or that anatomical feature, ever since Eve put leaves on a bush, so to speak. And men? Who among us hasn't dropped an Idaho spud in our shorts trying to break down the defenses of some uptight ingenue in the typing pool? No, I'm afraid that the shrill voices on the female left are hitting a little below the belt.
Right.
If we're really interested in putting the brakes on sexual harassment, then let's can the follow the bouncing boob beer commercials and rope in that saran-wrapped blonde babe on Married with Children. Because, with apologies to Will Rogers, I never met a sex kitten I didn't like. A lot.
What a fight. See the fight?
Yes, I
What
did.
a fight. Too bad Mercer didn't kill Morrison before he made Rocky V. Where was Mercer when I went to see that, huh? Could have used him to hit me in the face while I was sitting in the theater. Screwed him. Hey, great show this morning.
Thank you.
Love listening to you whine about the equipment in the studio. Love hearing you scream about microphones, EQs, butts. Why don't you go work for Radio Shack? Talk about it all day long, dummy. Why don't you get a job at the phone company collecting coins from the payphones? You always have a place to pee.
Why,
Moron.
let me ask you this, Howard.
What?
Why are you so much funnier on my program than you are on your own?
Penis.
Imus in the morning.
A place for bad food, high prices, and shameless self-promotion. Can you keep a secret?
Yeah.
It's Sylvester. He is Pumpkinhead. He is a dimwit. I can't believe it that someone so stupid can walk around and draw breath. But he's like a puppy. He's endearingly simple. Not like Bruce Willis. Onion head. I have more hair on my ass I can't stand him. He and his one-woman soul factory, Demi Moore.
Coal factory?
There are people living in trailer parks in Kentucky who's thinking she's had too many babies. They don't act like Hollywood stars. They act like white trash from the Ozarks. Look, it's all kinds of movie memorabilia for decoration, see? There is the boxing gloves from Rocky. Over there's a motorcycle from Terminator 2. Here's the penis helmet from the Rocketeer. And over there is all 6 tickets Bruce Willis sold for Hudson Hawk. Oh, look, my mother-in-law, Mama Eunice. Mama Eunice, over here. It's Imus. No, it's not Grandma Rose, it's Imus. Imus in the morning.
Fine.
You want something to eat, Arnold?
Well.
We have Hollywood menu. Look, food named after movie stars. You come on Sundays, see, we have the Roseanne Bar, open pit pig roast. Or do you want, we have a Pee Wee Herman. He's a big meat sandwich. Open face knockwurst with hearts of palm on a hard roll. How about something light? How about Brian Wilson?
What's that?
Fried vegetable platter. Here's something delicious. Sun-dried tomato and raisin bread. The Catherine Hepburn. Look, we've even named the dish for you. Boneless breast of turkey. I know. Let me order, okay? Hans, bring 2 Mad Dog Russos. Schnell. You like fruit salad?
Yeah.
Hope you're hungry. It's double order.
Imus in the morning.
Man, you really get the guests, huh? What happened? Cousin Brucey was busy? Couldn't get William B. Williams? Moron.
Well, I don't think that's necessary.
Have another DJ on your show. Yeah, that's real hip, Imus. Why'd you get the guy who repaired the phone booth he used to pee in?
Imus in the morning.
Good for you. Sticks to your ribs. And oatmeal's doubly important right now. How come? Politics. Yep. You see, when Anita Hill...
Mr. Brimley, I'm not seeing the politics reference in my copy here.
Yes, sir, I know that, and I'd like to correct the record.
The record?
Yes, sir. You see, when you're wanting something hot and satisfying in the morning, no bowl of oatmeal's ever going to start hollering sex harassment at you. So pour on the cream, kids, and tell Mom that you'll...
Oh, Mr. Brimley, sexual harassment.
That's right.
What in the world does oatmeal have to do with sexual harassment?
Hardly not a thing, son.
Right.
And that's why it's so appealing right now. Tastes good, looks good, and it'll satisfy you with a special down-home Wilfred Brimley Oatmeal boner.
That's a typo, Mr. Brimley. I'm sure about that. It should read the Brimley Oatmeal Bonus, I believe.
Somebody emasculating you at the office there, sonny boy?
No.
It's the Brimley boner.
You're saying that you view oatmeal as a sex object?
Is it warm?
Well, yes, it is.
Is it wet?
Well, yeah, with milk and whatever.
Do you eat it?
Well, it's oatmeal. Of course you eat it.
Then why stop there?
That's a good point.
Especially if you're so lonesome and frustrated, you're about to make a drive-through window down at the diner that don't have one now. No, don't go harassing somebody at the office and risk blowing your career when you can harass the hell out of a bowl of oatmeal and it's just got to sit there and take it. Hot and satisfying? You bet. So tomorrow morning, just tell Mom to pour your bowl into Dad's fly rod case, bring it up to your room, and get out. It won't just stick to your ribs. It'll stick to everything south of your sternum by the time you're through with it. So remember now, eating, cheating, or combining the two, Quaker Oats oatmeal, it's the right thing to do.
Imus in the morning.
But then a man came, and he too had a bucket. And tied to his bucket was a rope, so when he lowered it into the well, he drew much liquid. I could have done that, the woman sneered, if I had a rope like a man. I don't think so, the man replied. You are a woman, and your bucket has a hole. You see, in light of the recent events in the news, it's much more important than ever men get in touch with themselves. Now that the subject of sexual harassment has been given such attention, it's possible men will be indicted and persecuted more frequently. Men are the real victims. As soon as we leave childhood and become sexual beings, we're abandoned by our mothers and viewed as competition by our fathers and other men. We are all spiritual orphans. There is a tale of a boy and his father which illustrates this.
It's another poem.
No, it's a tale.
A tale.
A boy sat with his father alone, fishing on the banks of a river. And although he loved to fish, the boy was sad. His mother had just left him to go live with the angels. After a while, the small one finally broke the silence. Is it okay to be afraid? Is it bad for a man to cry, the boy asked, his eyes brimming with the water of his pain. The father turned to face his son. Your mother is dead. Shut up and fish.
Oh, just get over it.
Basically, yeah. See, men judge each other sexually. That's the result of that, you see. The Mahoney have a saying, I cried because I had no shoes, and then I met a man who had a very small penis.
Now, wait a minute.
That's also sexual harassment if you stop and think about it. If a man is abandoned by the one who gave him birth, if he's envied by women and forced to compete with those of his own tribe, then he's going to act out his pain and resentment on those of another tribe, the women. A poem.
Another poem?
A warrior stood in an open field, thunder, wind, and lightning all around. No iron shield or sword to yield, and higher ground could not be found. No comfort from his manly gender, no choice but impotent surrender. But Mother Nature is a castrating bitch, and so he pinched her on the ass. Come, let us pee out the campfire together as only men can do.
What?
Let us beat the drum of brotherhood with our fleshy tomahawks. Come on, whip out your little Indian. Let's see it, come on. Come on, do a few paradiddles. Then we'll go over in a teepee and smoke each other's peace pipes. Come on, come on.
I don't think so.
Want to see me play Wipeout?
No, I... Robert Bly here on the Imus in the Morning program.
Imus in the morning.
Association of Angry Anchorwomen of America. I am an anchorwoman, and I am angry. Here now, the reasons why.
Oh, good, okay.
The tomahawk chop. In the first place, to be absolutely correct, it should be the Thomas Hawk chop. Regardless, I've already grown weary of Native Americans taking to the warpath over this meaningless and inoffensive gesture. I remain far more offended by the insensitive and salacious gestures made behind my back by primetime live colleagues as I pass by. The mule lope and the chicken choke. Did you people derive any benefit from the Thomas Hill hearings? Advice? Keep your leers for queers to yourselves, or I'll sue your ass. Nor do I find humor in the cartoon graffiti which has suddenly appeared in the ladies' room. The fellow peeking over a fence and captioned, "Smile, Clarence Thomas is watching you." Not amusing. Oh, and to my colleague, Nina Totenberg, the national public radio correspondent who foul-hooked Judge Thomas. Have a makeover, honey. You're making me want to Ralph. Oh. Most fascinating and offensive insofar as the Thomas hearings were concerned, though, the juxtaposition of Senators Biden and Kennedy on the dais. One who looked as though a solar panel had been installed on his head, the other who looked as though he had exchanged heads with an elephant. Unlikely, however. Wrong party. Now then, on the subject of gender and or species confusion, explain, please, the abrupt campaign conversion that's manifesting itself in the lurch to the left of disc jockey Don Imus, who is now endorsing Mario Cuomo, a man who he has on occasion described as a bag-eyed, machine-gun-toting homo. Now, suddenly, Imus has gone from the ballad of the Green Beret to the ballet of the puce cachée. Sounds as though he's waiting for the results of a home pregnancy test. What gives, Imus?
Well...
A little disingenuous, perhaps? But then wait a week. If there's a sufficient political wind shift, he'll be aligning himself with Oliver North, Zeke Mowat, George Hennard, and H. Ross Perot. What's the old saw? Oh, yes. A politically expedient putz points more directions than a compass in a f***ing magnet factory. Or so it seems to me. Diane Sawyer for AA, the Association of Angry Anchorwomen. I am woman. Hear me roar.
Let me see your cook.
Imus in the morning.
Imus